Okay, Jacob. So, you know what? Even though you were voted out early, you will still go down in the survival record books as the very first person to ever visit Ghost Island. Is that something that
Yeah.
you're kind of proud of?
It's a funny distinction, right? Because one could look at it as a pride point. For me, it's kind of just this weird coincidence. I mean, don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. I definitely tried to get myself there, and I accomplished that for in one of the times I needed it. It's a funny little trivia answer to be rather a funny little trivia question to be the answer to, for
Right.
sure.
I just talked to Stephanie Gonzalez, and she said you would have been first out, she thinks, if you
Yeah.
hadn't gone to Ghost Island. So that saved an extra 3 days.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I could not have saved myself. You can't fight an entire tribe. Short of me finding an idol, I don't think I would have survived.
Right. Speaking of Idol, you did make the fake one, which looked very believable. But then,
Oh, cool.
was it Brendan, I think it was, that asked if you had the paper for the immunity necklace. How smart was
Yep.
that of him to ask that question?
Oh, it was a great call. Don't get me wrong, I thought about it. I was out on Ghost Island trying to think, how can I fake parchment? And unfortunately, the only parchment I had said just like, all right, game on, follow the fire. So if I tried to use that, they would have all seen the words and been like, this is fake.
Right.
I can't just write it in dirt. Like I had no other choice than to just come up with some crazy lie like I lost it, which is not the
Yeah.
best lie, but it was all I had. So
Like,
kudos
it
to
didn't give
Brendan
you
for this.
a blank parchment and a pen, so you couldn't, write your own fake
That
note.
would be. Why is this idle note like have such crappy text on it? I have terrible handwriting. Would have been amazing. Why,
um,
why did he spell immunity wrong?
yeah. The fact that, these people voted you off at your very first tribal council, does that make you change your opinion about the Malolo tribe being the best tribe in survivor history?
I'm going to make something very clear. Malolo was never the greatest tribe in Survivor history. Words are words. And look, don't get me wrong. It's a very funny group of people, and there's some very impressive players on it, and there's some not so impressive players on it. And it's definitely a tribe. And I said a lot of things, and I hope I was hoping they would have certain effects, and sometimes they did. I got sent to Ghost Island because Navidi thought I was talking smack and wanted to send me, and it kind of worked the first time. And I tried to pull off a lot of stuff because I knew I was in trouble, and unfortunately, only so much of it was working out. But I mean, look, Malolo was never going to be the greatest tribe ever by any stretch of the imagination. But when you say stuff like that, it's hard to get away from the quotes.
You know what it reminded me of President Trump, the way he says everything is the best and the greatest. And I wonder if you're trying to channel that at all.
I'd rather die. Trust me. No correlation or no.
Just no.
Just no. I'm gonna just shoot that theory out of the sky right now.
You took a big risk by basically, asking the other tribe to send you to Ghost Island, and it worked. And were you scared at all about going there? I mean, some people say they're just afraid of the whole concept of Ghost Island because they didn't know what it was.
Well, I mean, look, most islands that you get sent to in Survivor history usually involve you being deprived for a day or two. It usually means you just sit, and if you can't make your fire or you can't find food, well, you're just going to be hungry and thirsty for a day and a half. Sorry. Alone. And so I was definitely a little worried about that. But I also knew that this was going to extend my life in the game, and I knew that there was probably going to be some sort of advantage opportunity. Yeah, it's just usually how this stuff goes. And so I had a good feeling about that. I was more excited to see what it was and excited about the opportunities it might bring than I was worried about being hungry, because honestly, like, I wasn't struggling too hard with hunger. I was doing okay. So a day and a half of that wouldn't have been too bad for me.
At Ghost Island, you had to smash an urn. Now, did you have to go in order from left to right, or could you have picked any of those?
Yeah, no, you're meant to do it one at a time from left to right, I believe.
Okay.
They said, like, okay, you got the first turn. And so it's funny though, because, you see Break the Urn, and to me, I saw that as a choice, So I thought I had to make all these choices, right? So first I had to smash the urn. That's a choice. Then I have to choose if I want to play this game. That's a choice. Then I actually have to play the game and pick a bamboo shoot. That's another choice. So I was gambling a lot with uncertainty of what might happen, and all I got for it was was an advantage I couldn't even use.
Do you think that by telling Stephanie about the advantage and about the fake idol, is that part of the reason you were voted out, or was she going to vote you out no matter what?
I think it was my only saving grace, to be honest. Look, Stephanie, I gave Stephanie a decision. I gave Stephanie an option, and she had to make a decision. I pretty much presented her with all this information and said, look, no one else here is going to be as loyal to you as me. No one. I need you. I need anyone. Work with me. Let me help you out. You tell me what to do. And if she had taken that option and said, you know what? Jacob could be useful. He's given me all this info. He trusts me. And if he trusts me this much, I could probably use him. And having an extra body out there is a very helpful thing to have. So my whole hope was that I'd be able to get through to her in that way, and that she'd see value in me, and that she would. And obviously I knew when I told her that there was a pretty good chance she was just going to turn around and tell everybody. But she didn't. She didn't tell anybody. She kept it to herself. So I thought that there was hope for me, Stephanie, Jenna, Laurel, and James pulling off something. And had Stephanie decided to commit with me, maybe it could have happened. But without her, it wasn't going to.
Heading into Tribal, did you know you were going home, or did you think there was a chance Michael or somebody else may have been voted out?
I was like 75% sure I was out. I held on to a little bit of hope because I was thinking maybe Stephanie would pull through. Maybe James and Laurel would pull through. But I wasn't, maybe something crazy would happen and they would just put all the votes somewhere else. I don't know. I didn't know they were going to put 2 votes on James. Like, if I had known they were going to target James as the backup, like, I would have voted for James. Like, I would have tried to put more numbers on him, just to save myself. But, it was, I knew that my plan was it was a long shot. I knew that it probably wasn't going to work out. I held on to a little bit of hope, but, I was realistic. So, obviously when I get voted out, I'm still obviously very surprised and bummed out, but like, it's just because I'm being voted out, not because I'm completely shocked by it. Like, yeah, me and Michael didn't get along. I don't know. I'm not surprised.
Can you talk a little bit about your journey leading up to Survivor? How long was this process? How many years had you been applying?
Yeah, well, as soon as I turned 18, I started applying. So I technically applied 3 times then. The normal way, 18, 19, 20. 18, 19, 20, 4 times, 21. 4 times, sorry. And then I heard back once somewhere in there, and at 21 I responded. I kind of just reached out randomly because I still had an email or a phone number or something, and I started to get through the process very slowly with a lot of help from certain people, and it began to come together. And so I guess it took 4 years or so, and I turned 22 right before the game started. So took a couple years, took a lot of fight, and I had to prove that I was worth having because God knows I wasn't going to get out there on my looks. So,
did you go into your tribe thinking you were the youngest, or because Michael was lying about his age, so you didn't know he was actually 18?
Yeah. I thought I was the youngest, yeah, and I was hoping I wouldn't be. I originally intended to lie about my age, but then when everybody started saying they were 24 and 25 and 23, I was like, okay, 22 isn't that bad. It isn't. And look, if I don't have to lie about that, then I'm not gonna. Because there's no reason to waste my energy on lying about my age if I'm like the 3rd youngest on the cast or something. Or I thought I was the youngest, but and I got teen vibes from Michael, but I was never sure of it enough to really accuse it or call it out on TV or anything. All the guy talks about is Chipotle and Instagram, I tell you. So it's you get some vibes, but regardless. I did think I was the youngest, and which is bad because nobody wants to lose to a kid, but I wasn't the youngest by too much, and I thought that would be okay.
Right. Of the remaining 8 players on your old tribe, who do you think is playing the smartest game? Who do you think can go all the way and win this?
Toss up between Brendan and Stephanie, because Brendan in this place where he has a lot of control. And anyone dissents, Jacob went off and looked for an idol for a few minutes. Okay, we'll just take him out. Everyone act like it's normal. Everyone just act like it's comfy. He was in a very keen, strong point, power position. And when he had to, he could feign weakness. He could feign, I don't know what's going on. I'm the old man here. I don't know. But on the other hand, I don't know how he'll be able to handle when things get chaotic. Stephanie, on the other hand, was willing to put herself out there and really use the guy who was desperate. And she didn't take it at full opportunity. She could have used me longer. She could have kept me around for a couple of days and actually gotten more worth out of me. But let's say she does that with Donathan. Let's say she does that with someone from the other tribe after a swap or a merge or something. Like, she's very easy to talk to. She's very funny. She's got a filthy mouth. She's a very, very approachable, really fun person, but she's also playing this game hard. And people like her are very, very threatening. I'd be scared of Stephanie.
Well, any final thoughts about your experience?
It was a hell of a ride, and I hope I didn't bum out too many super fans at home. And I hope that they, it's because I know a lot of fans had me as a winner, or we're just excited to see someone like them on the show. But I hope they all know that I'm super grateful for all the compassion, and I hope that if they're trying to get on the show, that they keep trying. Because if a schlub like me can get on, so can they.